let's talk about something crucial to make users' life easy. And I'm gonna say, avoid blocking the UI thread. There, I said it. Imagine visiting a website, clicking on the button, only to realize you froze the damn website for a few minutes. It's frustrating, guys. From user's point of view, from developer's point of view. And this can happen when we are performing those heavy load operations, usually making the API call to fetch the data from the server. Now, in the C# world, we call this await operations. But we do have the solution in C#. We handle this asynchronously. So how do I bring this asynchronous operation into the Blazor world? The answer is StreamRendering. Now this allows a component to render incrementally. So there is something called initial load, and then there is incremented load when the actual data arrives. Right? So at the beginning, at the initial phase, you will unfreeze some part of the UI where user can interact while other part of the component is busy in making those heavy API calls, right? And believe me, for all of this, you just need single line of code. Let's get into the action. Okay, welcome back to Arena. As usual, on the screen I have VS Code running and I have weather component here. Now this component comes with any Blazor default application. Here, let's run this application and let me show you in action what I'm talking about. You will see there's this application. Now pay close attention when I click on the weather button. There you go. There you go. It hung up on me, doing nothing, right? And now it got the data after 5 seconds. If you look at the code, this is where we are making that API call. Now I'm simulating that API call by adding 5 seconds delay, right? That's what happens. The UI thread gets frozen. So how do we handle this? Simple. You just need to add one line as I promised. Say add the rate, attribute, and inside the square bracket say StreamRendering. I talked about something called initial load and something called incremented load. So on the screen, this is your incremented load when you have the data. So when the data is not equal to null. Let's add the code for your initial load when your data is actually null. So say else here, and inside the bracket, let me just add simple div and let's call it load. I'm gonna save this. I need to rerun this. Now pay close attention when I click on the weather button. You see, the else condition that we added has appeared. That is your initial load. It also indicates user that something is loading in the background. Now you can make this very pretty. Let me show you how. I have some templated code which I wrote before. Let me get that for you. Here inside the else, I'm gonna add this code. I'm gonna save it and rerun the application. Now pay close attention when I click on the weather button. See, it is that skeleton code, that shadow effect that tells the user that data is being fetched. And there you go, your data, right? So all I did is just added this single line of code, attribute StreamRendering. And then you can handle the initial load the way you want it, such as add the skeleton code. You can be very creative, add that loading symbol, whatever you want to do. Just don't be dead on the user. That's all. And that's pretty much what I have for this session. And I hope you learned something and you can use this in your applications. Let's all of us together make our users happy. That's all we are getting paid for. Thank you so much and I'll see you in next video.